Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Wearefatherhood podcast. We're back with another video.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We hope you guys enjoy today's episode. Let's get into it.
Dive in, man. Emotions. Fatherhood
All right,
episode 9.
let's go, man. How y'all doing, man? How's everyone doing? Once again, guys, we're happy to have you guys here today. It's another episode, guys. We're hyped, man. We're hyped. It's another week to talk about topics. Our guest Adon is back again. Toby's back from vacation, but
yeah,
he's a little
Toby.
tired and stuff, so let the man rest a little bit. Hey, let's get into it, guys. Daily check-ins. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. I would say at a personal level, I'm feeling better like at a 9 now. I know last week I had mentioned that I was at an 8 just feeling sluggish. I think I'm back on my A game as far as like I guess the output of production I'm doing, which is work and my family and things I got to do for myself. So I'm good in that aspect. In regards to family, this month actually is the month where I have it unsupervised, but there's been some delays because my lawyer has contacted me. I told her what I wanted, I guess, to propose for the opposing the attorney, and well, they haven't gotten back to us on that. So unfortunately, this week had to be supervised. But I mean, I still got to see my daughter and all, so that was pretty neat. She played today. She scored again, and the whole team in general is just looking a lot better in regards to like them knowing their assignments, knowing how to actually kick the ball, control the ball, which way to go, things like that, bro. It's cool because I mean they're 4 or 5 year olds and they're like new to the game. There's like one that's probably like knows the game pretty well, but for the most part they're new to the game. So I got to see their progression from the very beginning, like week 1 up until now. And it's like, man, it's pretty cool, bro. So I would say family wise, I'm right there. My youngest daughter also, she'll be. I think I mentioned before she's gonna start softball in the spring, sometime in the spring. So that's pretty neat. She's 3. She's gonna be 3 in January. So I wonder how that's gonna work for her.
Yeah.
I know I tried getting her to play softball with me because we bought her a little glove. And I mean she really didn't budge, bro. So like
It's hard, bro. At 3, like at 3.
she's not even 3 yet. So she's about to be 3. We're trying to get her
for,
introduced
for
to it
those
though.
type of sports, it's a little more difficult. That's why I always tell everyone, like, I feel like soccer is the perfect thing because there's not really much, but you just kick the ball and run.
Yeah.
So whenever it's softball, it's like you got a bat,
Hold the glove too, catch it,
and you know what I mean. So it's kind of hard, bro. And then you gotta stay at the base, like be disciplined enough to stay at the base. Like, bro, I know people I hear stories where like the kids are like they'll hit the ball and they'll run, they'll stay on base, and they'll start like walking around or like catching butterflies and stuff like that. So it's like I feel like softball is
it's a bit tougher.
It's a little tougher. Like maybe around 5 years old, like it's more understanding. But I feel 3 is as a hard age to learn all that stuff.
Yeah,
man.
but thankfully though, I like she actually got the cause her mom and I, my fiance, we like softball a lot. We like sports in general. So we have our own gloves and we play in front of her. So. There was one time I went to the park and she saw us playing while she was in the swings and she actually came, got the glove and she put it on and she tried catching the ball, but she's too small to catch the ball. But in regards to my partner and I, we're doing a lot better, bro. We actually have done a lot better with communication. I think that was one of the things that we had to work on. Not that we don't communicate, obviously we talk, right? But I guess communication in the essence of where we have I guess discomfort or where we have an issue with something or we have something that we want to talk about or something that is just whatever the case may be, like things that we wouldn't normally or we'd be hesitant to bring to the forefront of what we want to talk about. That before we wouldn't because we had restrictions or extension because I guess arguments would come out of that instead of an actual communication, an actual conversation. Now we're actually having conversations, things like that. So I think that's helped us out a lot more because it helps not just myself to prevent an argument, but for my fiance to feel included as far as like what I'm doing. Like for example, like I think before I had problems with trying to like I guess tell her about a certain situation that I was having with myself, a problem with it, whether it be getting my oldest daughter with me or through the law and court, all that stuff. Like I would tell her, but I would tell her probably like a time later. I wouldn't tell her when it was going down or when things were happening. So now I'm being more aware about it matters when I tell her as opposed to like just telling her. I know I think that's something that sometimes we think like as long as I tell her it's fine, but it's like yeah, but if you tell her like when did they tell you this, like it was like last week, like you're barely telling me now, kind of like now like you gotta like tell her like right there and then. And I guess that's helped me out at least to be more better with communication with my partner.
For sure, bro. How you doing, Honest?
I'm good. Good. I feel like still working on myself. Like I said, I've been still going to the gym, hitting it hard. And I'm still feeling a lot better, like as far as like, with family. As far as family, I feel like I'm at I would say like a 7. Reason being is because like I mean we've been like me and Jalissa, my girlfriend, we've been like having a little bit more problems than usual, and but I feel like what that is like mainly like her emotions with pregnancy and stuff, because you know she's pregnant, she's like kind of already tired and frustrated, and she just like is more like in like, oh, like I'm ready to have the baby because like I don't like the way I feel. And that just brings a little bit more arguments here and there, just little things, you know. But I feel like more than anything, that's just her like being stressed out about being pregnant. So I mean, other than that, I mean, we're good. One thing about us is that we try to like be there for each other whenever like we need each other. You know, if I feel down, like she's there and she'll like tell me like, nah, you're good. Like, and if it's vice versa, if she feels bad, like I try to be there for her and everything. But sometimes I just wish she did. I would say like support me a little bit more, because I mean like sometimes like with the podcast, like I was talking to her about it. I was telling her, you know, like it's something that I like, something that I feel like um is good for me, and like sometimes I feel like she's not really like supportive like she could be, you know. Instead of like,
you had those kind of conversations with her?
yeah, like I mean like we talk about it, but it's really like sometimes like I feel like she's not really paying attention, or like she's maybe like annoyed by me like sometimes when I say stuff like, oh, like I want to like find something to talk about, or like, you know, like I don't want to just sit here and lie and be like, oh no, everything's great, because it's not, you know. And I mean it's one of the things that like it's been bringing me down a little bit, but I mean I feel like it's just something that we're going through because of like the pregnancy, and like she's just like very emotional recently, you know. So I mean, like I feel like her emotions are like 100. Like one minute she could be like good, she could be like talking to me right and everything, and then the next minute she's like sad and she's crying. I mean, like her
pregnancy, bro, hormones get crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's something that like it's harder to deal with right now, because I mean, I have my son too, so like it's like we'll have little arguments like if it's like her turn to like watch him for like a little bit, or like if I'm working, like I recently started working from home. It's not from home, like it's just like the trainings from home, right?
Yeah.
And the like it's a little bit difficult because like when I'm there, like my son, like he's trying to be there, like, and he's trying to see like, oh, who's there, you know, because we're like all in like the camera,
right?
And like sometimes I'm like, hey, like I need you to like watch him, like make sure he doesn't come this way, because he likes to like mess with I'm doing it on the tablet, and he'll like to like mess with it, or he wants the tablet, and like I give him my phone and he doesn't want my phone, he wants the tablet, but it's because he sees me on it, right? But I mean, yeah, like other than that, I mean, I feel like it's just the pregnancy. I feel like maybe like a little bit after. I mean, and like the first pregnancy that she went through, it wasn't that bad, because I feel like everything went smooth. She didn't have like really like any problems whatsoever, and she wasn't like really emotional or anything. It's just that the second baby is like, it's I feel like I tell her like it's kind of like if she's actually pregnant, because before when she had my first son, like she was acting like normal, like she hardly had any like morning sickness or anything like that. She never had like almost anything like that. But now with this baby, I feel like this baby's like kicking her ass, you know.
Damn, bro.
But I mean, like I feel like that's the reason why she's acting like a little bit like that. So I tried to be a little bit more supportive, knowing that she's the one carrying the baby.
Just be more supportive, because I'm sure that's what she needs. I think every woman in those positions, bro, it's hard to understand what they're exactly going through. And then after that, postpartum depression kicks in too, and that's very, very common. So that's another thing you might want to look into. I guess coping mechanisms, ways of handling that situation, because I'm sure all of our partners experience that through their own pregnancies. Maybe we didn't realize it then. I know mine did, but I didn't realize it at that point in time until after the fact. And I mean, she told me about it like months later, and I'm like, dang. So a lot of things made sense as to why, like, you know, we had certain things occur in our relationship and stuff like that throughout her pregnancy, and it was because of the fact that she was going through that, even after, like, just the fact that she was going through that postpartum depression. And I mean, I mentioned before, like, I wish I would have known about it, or at that when it was actually going down, maybe I could have done things a little bit better. And not that I didn't, I tried my best, but there were times also where I myself felt down about myself. So it's just like a range of things, bro. Like, you just gotta, like, I guess, be the best you can be no matter what, like, regardless of what your partner's going through. Because that way, if you're doing your best or applying your best, you know, you're hoping that it reaches her while also supporting her, though, of course. So I mean, that's the way I took it. Like, what I took it with is I'm gonna embrace it, do the best that I can, even if I don't feel like I'm doing enough. Like, I'm gonna do what I can, and support her. Hopefully, like it goes well through that. I mean, thankfully, like we got over those humps, and we're at a way better place now. But like everything, bro, like all those women that are going through that, bro, like you just gotta give them that support.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing that's kind of hard, because we don't go through it, so like you don't actually know exactly how the person feels, but you just gotta kind of like imagine it, like that, like how would I feel carrying around like the baby, and like walking around.
It's a lot too, bro, because it's not just like a mental aspect. It's also like their body shape.
Yeah.
Like they're changing, so that also is an insecurity for them or a buildup of an insecurity. Some women handle it differently. Some women are okay with it because, I don't know, they have their own, I guess, way of getting back to their own regimen, whatever. But some girls have a more difficult time. Other girls don't do that. And it's just like they're experiencing not just change in their body and their mind and just the life in general, because now they're also, yours is now going to have a second child. So she's more of a mom now, more responsibility, like all of that, bro. A range of things. Just it's a whole lot of things to, I guess, try to bring together, bro. But I mean, you get through it, bro. You just gotta be there supportive.
Hey, I hope y'all doing well, man. Hey, like I said, man, like we're not always gonna be at perfect 10. Like George always says, like try to give yourself a 9 or 8. To always improve in anything you're going through. Me personally, bro, I've been feeling good, man. We had a little bit of sickness, bro. We had like a stomach bug, man. So that brought me down to like a 7, bro. Like super draining, bro. It was bad.
So D8 or what?
We got sick. Yeah, I guess so, bro. Like I got like when Bronny got like the bug first, like he threw up, and then I threw up, bro, and then Riley threw up, bro. So we were all like, But the kids were good, like in like a matter of hours, man. I was like down for like 2 days, bro. I was like, fuck.
Immune system,
bro. Bro, I was like, damn, man. But personally, I'm like a 7, bro, because of that, bro. Just brought me way down. Family wise, bro, I feel like we're like at an 8, man. Like, cause we're all just recovering and stuff. We feel a lot better, man. It's been like about 2 days, so we've been a lot better on that. But man, bro, it was a little tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't sleep a while, man. I didn't sleep for like 2 days. I probably slept like 3 hours, bro. I was dead. But hey, George, get us into today's topic, man.
All right, sounds good. So we ready? Let's get it. It's gonna be about emotions. Basically, hiding emotions and showing emotions, things of that nature. So we'll dive in with, I guess, the first part of it, the first sequence, which is basically manhood. With a couple of questions, man. So I'll go ahead and ask the first question, and Donis, you want to go ahead and I guess answer. Gilbert, you go next, and then I'll follow up with my own response. So, what is manhood to you? What defines a man?
I feel like it could be like a lot of things, but most importantly, it's the way he carries himself and his family around him.
Okay.
I feel like that's more the broader way of saying it. Like I feel like it's more of like it's easy to take care of yourself, but can you take care of your family as well? Yeah. I feel like that's where it comes down to.
And I'm with you, bro. I feel like what is manhood to me is just someone who holds it down. You know what I mean? The rock in the family. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not just the old way of just supporting the family and the wife and stuff, but actually just like like being considerate and stuff like that. And what defines a man, bro? I think what defines a man is just, man, it's kind of hard because, I mean, as a father, it's like, being a great father to your kids and a husband. But man, in general, bro, it's just being a great person, bro. Like, like, don't be an ass, man. I feel like that's just what it is. What about you, bro?
I'm with both of y'all on all that. I would just add a little bit more in regards to leadership. Manhood and being a man for me is about leadership. You're essentially leading your family. You're leading the team to be the best that they can be, and they can't be the best if you're not the best yourself. So you gotta, set that example. Of course, we're not perfect, but that's always I guess the strive. We're always trying to be perfect. We're always trying to be better.
Yeah.
So in doing that, you're essentially gonna lead your family. And this is not only pertains to men. I think even women, though, women could also be leaders in the family. So it's just I guess the approach to it, like you said, what defines being a man. I mean, I just think it's just being a great person, bro. Like, for both, not just for men. Like what defines being a woman, what defines being a man, what defines being, I guess, a human more than anything. It's just being better. That's what I would say in regards to that. So for me, there's not, I guess, a box that I place on it. I think society places that. I just asked what manhood or what defines being a man was to y'all, because I wanted to, I guess, gauge y'all's perspective, because I know, I guess, in the general context of society, it'd be, a man is like this guy who is tough and, I don't know, like, like he's just very demanding. Like, I guess in the leadership sense, but in a authoritarian, I don't know how to say the word, bro, but like a dictator, I guess, from the family. And I wouldn't say like machismo exactly. Yeah. So I wouldn't define that as a man, but I think society places that as the description of a man. But it's way deeper than that, man. That's just a facade, I would say. But next question would be, in regards to emotions, what have you been taught as a male regarding your emotions? By whom? Family, institutions, society, your grandpa, your grandma, your dad, your mom, a coach, etc. So in regards to your emotions, what have you been taught as a male regarding your emotions? You want to go first?
I feel me personally, man, like my mom was really like just kind of always like showed her emotions because I was raised by a mom. So I feel like that's the way I am, bro. I'm kind of like real emotional and stuff like that. But man, bro, I guess like just like I guess kind of like teaching myself because I wasn't really ever taught like how to show emotions. So I was just kind of taught myself like, or just look at people in general, bro, and just like I just see people like most of the people are just like kind of like actually show the emotions, but like in a bad way, you know what I mean? Like they just like say whatever they want,
reacting,
or being physical, stuff like that, bro. And like I always saw that, and I was like, bro, I don't want to be like that. So I'm always like, how do I handle my emotions myself? And I always just kind of like just kept it to myself and stuff like that. So I guess I did see it from my mom, but like she didn't really ever show emotions, man. So like I kind of just adapted from her, like kind of like don't let anybody see your emotions. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's me personally, man. What about you, bro?
For me, I'd say I learned it from obviously a lot of things, right? But my dad, for example, like I mentioned before, like I love my dad. He sacrifices for us, or he would when I was growing up, to give us the best lives that we could. But he never really, I guess, had communication with me in regards to like certain topics that I wish that we would have had. We talk more now, right? But I guess growing up, it wasn't like that. Not that he wasn't there, he was there, but he was more focused on, providing for the family, making ends meet, things like that, just making sure we were all good, we had food, we had clothes, et cetera, et cetera. But in regards to him, though, he never showed his emotions either. He was always kind of like the one that just kept it to himself. And the reason why I would know that he would cry was because my mom would tell me, like, hey, like, when I got into trouble, whatever happens with me, it affected my dad, but I didn't know how it affected him. My mom would come to me and she'd be like, hey, your dad, cried because, you did this. I'm like, dad cried? Like, I'd be like, Sean, like, why would he not, like, talk to me about it? Or why would he cry? And I didn't see that, So, like, I never got to see my dad cry like that. Actually, I only saw him cry when his mom passed away. But, like, for him to actually cry about, a financial situation or because I misbehaved or I got in trouble with the law, whatever the case may be, like, he never showed those emotions like that. So, I think from him, that's where I got me, hiding my emotions. Like, I just felt like him being a man or the man of the household, like, I got to be like that. So that's why I didn't show my emotions. And then I think further on, later on, an institution that I guess kind of showed me to be more open about my emotions was when I became a youth leader at a church. When I became a youth leader, bro, like, I obviously got into a position where I was going to be, I was actually a prayer leader, so I would open up the ceremony or the sermon, whatever, with prayer for the youth team, and I'd just be up there praying. So people are looking at me and they are seeing me pray, and bro, you can't. I feel like when you pray, you gotta be in your vulnerable state, because it's just a spiritual time for yourself, and for me, I mean, I like to say I'm spiritual. I'm very very heavy on my faith, and for me, being in that position, I was vulnerable to my emotions because I'm trying to show the light of God through me. I want God to be seen through the works that I do, the acts that I do, how I behave. And of course, I'm not perfect, so you can call me a hypocrite because I was up there trying to be better. But hey, I'm up there trying to be better. I'm not sticking to my old ways. And of course, you have our own battles, but through that, I guess I was able to understand my emotions better. Extend even further, I would say society, I guess, made me. I guess when I was unaware of how society imposed its box of being a man to me, um, I wasn't fully aware of how it was being imposed on me until I guess I got into college. When I got into college is when I actually got to peel back the layers as to why I was the way I was and who I was and who I am. I took a class on actually it was a class on sexuality, and I know I just took that class because I was going through a situation with my family because of my brother. Yeah. I think I told you about that, and I got caught up in the crossfire because I was in the middle. I was like, do I show my brother I support him, or do I kind of go with my mom's word, my mom's values because that's what we value or that's what we think. So I got caught up in the crossfire of that, and I chose supporting my brother because I didn't want him to feel like, bro, like, you're by yourself. We don't want you to be like that. And thankfully I chose that route because even though I was trying to figure out more about my brother, in turns I actually found out more about myself like through that because they broke down, I guess the societal things that influence you and how it, I guess, shapes kind of the course of your life, and it got me to understand, how that box was being so framed into me, and it was also affecting my brother because he wasn't fitting up to that box as much as my middle brother and I were. My youngest brother was the one that wasn't like us, so I put the question, that box now. I'm like, okay, so what is this box, And it opened up my mind even more to understand, society was placing this box on men, me and my brother. My youngest brother is also a man, right? But not everybody is going to fit into that box. And just because you don't fit into that box doesn't make you a man, or whatever society may call it a man. You got to understand there's a bigger thing here. So that's what helped me, I guess, understand my emotions there as in regards to, I can be vulnerable. I can show my emotions more, through the church and through, finding out more about myself and my brother, essentially. So I think that those are the things that affected me showing my emotions. What about you, Donis?
Um, I feel like well, basically, like, yeah, society is like a big factor in everything where it's always looked on like men to like be tough and not to have problems, or if they have problems to fix them on their own, to not have any type of support system, which I feel like that's why there's like a lot of like, here's an example, like the classes that I've been doing like online, basically, like it's for work, right? And we found out some statistics because we had to go through them, and there's statistics where like men from like 20 from the years 25 to like I believe it was 60 are the leading in suicide. Like
I was just gonna mention right now. We should probably look that up. But that's good.
It's men, and that's what's crazy. Like right now, that it's like something that you probably might have not even thought about. Like you probably thought it was like maybe like teenagers or older people, that they're like committing suicide or anything like that, but it's not. I mean, like that to me was something that was new, and I never expected that. But I understand it because it's like, yeah, well, like nobody, like these men, society expects so much of them, and that may include like their wife or their kids, or like their peers. Like they just expect so much out of you, and you don't have like that strength to just follow up on everything. So I feel like that to me was a big eye opener. It was like, damn, like that's true.
Like I think all of us go through that. Just that we don't have, I guess, a support system or people that are actually helping us get elevated or lifted through those situations. Which is why this is the reason why we bring this here, bro. We're trying to bridge that gap of us not talking about those things to talking about them, because all those men, bro, that go through that, the stats, I'm sure that you saw. I don't know, the numbers. I don't know the numbers. I was gonna say let's look it up, but nonetheless, I know it's the men are probably the ones leading in that, and it has to do with it. This is all theory, right? We can't say it's because of these things we're talking about, but it does bring to question, why is that the case, And if you really think about it, it's kind of like, bro, like, well, it's not that they committed suicide at that point in time because they wanted to. Like, there's a range of things that
led up to that moment. How much guts you have to do something like that to yourself. I mean, and there's different ways to commit suicide. I mean,
never talked about it.
And it's crazy, like it's just something that like it's something that I've thought about before, like I mean, especially like when I was in high school, like I used to go through like some thoughts like that would go through my head, like I'd be like, man, like I don't want to be here anymore. I felt that way when I was in high school. My mom was raising us basically by herself. We did have someone there, like our stepdad that was there, and but it's I don't know, it's not the same because I met him when I was like, I believe, I can't remember exactly, I might have been like 5th or 6th grade, somewhere around there. And like I had him throughout my life, but I never looked at him like a father figure, really. I just looked at him like, oh, that's my mom's boyfriend, And I mean, he was a cool dude. He was all right. I mean, the only thing is that like sometimes like it was hard, to make ends meet, especially because he was like real machista. So like it's like he didn't want my mom to work. So it's like, okay, like my mom has always worked her whole entire life for us, and we're 6, and she always made sure that we had food on the table and everything, right? So I mean, like there'd be times where I was like, I remember in high school, like I was like, man, like we have to wait till Friday to eat, like we had something to eat, right? Like there's always like freaking rice, beans, eggs, cereal, whatever. But there was like I looked at it like, damn, like there's no food, I mean, like there wasn't something that was like a good steak, big meal, I mean, and like just anything. Like we used to love like lasagna, pizzas, and stuff like, but I think that was just like my mindset is like, man, we don't have nothing. So like, it was like something that did come up. I was just thinking to myself like, man, like I don't want to be here anymore. Like what? Like I'm just another mouth to feed. And like I looked at it, I thought about it like that, but then I was like, okay, like, but I wouldn't be doing anybody a favor if I like like killed myself or anything like that. I was like, because that's like something that would be worse for my mom because she would have to deal with that and my brothers and sisters. And it just like it's just something. I mean, I thought about it like maybe like once or twice, right? But I was like at a very low point in life, and I was like, you know what? Nah, I can't think like that. So I mean, like, I guess, but I see where it comes from because I mean, I didn't have like no one to talk about. Right. I mean, to talk to like about these feelings and emotions that I had. I mean, the help can be there. Like, there's people out there, like in school, counselors and everything like that. But you don't like you're a man. You're a man. Yeah, you're exactly. Like I can't go to someone
that's the problem, bro. It's about like. It's like George says, like with the whole situation with Henry Ruggs, like we're talking about. It's like, bro, the resources are there, and it's crazy because you told me about that resource where like you can go get picked up and it's free, and it's actually been offered that service, bro, since Roger Goodell went to office 7 years, bro. Yeah. So it's like, but the thing is, like you said, it's like, bro, at the end of the day, it's like, well, I don't need that. I can drive. You know what I mean? So it goes to say like, as a man, like we just like that manhood, that ego. It's like, bro, instead of doing the right thing, it's like, nah, I got it. And like George says, we'll do an activity of him kind of showing that. But we'll go ahead and jump into this worksheet or this little activity that George found for us. And it starts like this, man. Thoughts and feelings. Thoughts and feelings have energy. It is the energy that wants to show itself. There are right or respectful and wrong or disrespectful ways to show the energy of thoughts and feelings. So the first question on this worksheet it says, I was told when I was a boy that showing my feelings or emotion was Adonis.
Girly.
I feel me personally, man, it was all right. Like it was okay to express yourself, but obviously I was raised by a woman, you know what I mean? So it was just like, hey, mijo, if you feel sad, hey, it's okay to cry, things like that. So I mean, I kind of like, I'm an emotional person. What about you, George?
Might be the same way, bro. I think it was more like, men don't cry. So like if I fell down or I don't know, I wanted something I couldn't get and I cried, like at least I would recall, to not cry. And I mean, not just by like my family, like the immediate family, but even extended family, like my aunts and uncles, or not my aunts, my uncles more than anything, my cousins too. Like nobody wanted to show their emotions like that. It was kind of like, be tough type of stuff. So
second question, it says, today I feel that it is blank to show my feelings or emotions. Today, now, being more educated, being more thoughtful, and researching throughout this podcast, as a father, you want to be okay, to express your feeling. Right. Like George, I know we watch podcasts and it says like, you have 2 kids, you have a boy and a girl, they both fall down, they're crying. You're gonna tell your son, hey, get up, don't cry.
I do the same for both, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a woman, it's like, hey, it's okay to cry, don't worry, you okay?
Yeah.
So like I feel like now it's okay to show emotions. Hey son, it's okay to cry, don't worry about it. Just, it's fine. What do you think, Adonis? And actually it's interesting to hear this because he's always like, my boys are gonna be tough. I always hear him say that, so it's kind of interesting to hear this response.
Yeah, I mean, like, to me, when it comes to, like, that, like, I mean, yesterday, I took my son to the park. He fell. He literally fell, like, he was running. And keep in mind, I mean, he's 1 year old. He's going to be 2 in January. So, he was running, and he's still trying to get the hang of how to run, like, fast. Like, he's actually pretty fast. And, like, I was recording a video on Snapchat, and, like, right after the video, when I stopped recording, like, if I would have kept recording, like, a couple more seconds, I would have caught it. Like, he literally, like, fell. He fell on his hands, and when he fell on his hands, he kept going, so he hit his face on the ground. Damn. Then that's because we were running in, like, cement. So I was like, okay, there's 2 things that I can do. I can either be, like, scared and be like, oh, my God, like, are you okay? Or I can not show him that fear that I have and just be like, hey, you good? And like, that's what I did, because I remember growing up, my mom, and she does it now still. And it's like, it's annoying now to me because of the way that, like, if a kid falls, she's like, oh my God. And it's like the kid looks at her like, oh, did I die? Like, am I, like, they get all scared too. Yeah. And see, like, sometimes the hit isn't as bad. Like, they can handle it. It's just that the reactions that people have around them, it's like, they're like, oh crap. Like, I guess, like, it did hurt. You know, like, kind of response or reaction to so it. When my son fell, like, I was like, nah, like, he looked at me like, oh, like, wait for your reaction. Like, he looked at me like, what happened? And I was like, hey, you good? And he just looked at me and started laughing and got up and ran again. So, but like, if I would have reacted different, and if I would have ran to him like, oh my God, are you okay? And everything like that, I might have been the one to scare him into crying, you know? Right. So like, and then like my sister was like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, leave him alone. Leave him alone. He's good.
I'd say one thing. I don't know if you know Inky Johnson. I think I mentioned it to you before, but he used to play football. He got injured. Long story short, he couldn't. He went a different route. He's a motivational speaker. And one of the things was he was saying that he was on a 4-wheeler with his son. And they were on the 4-wheeler. They were going, I guess, pretty fast. And they made a turn. And on that turn, the thing flipped, bro. When the fucking 4-wheeler flipped, his son fell. And the mom saw that from afar. So when Inky Johnson saw that the mom saw that and she was running toward their direction, his thought was, okay, she's gonna come over here, and you know she's already panicking because they're on the 4-wheeler and they fucking flip, bro. Like, that's kind of scary, right? Yeah. So like, I have two things to do here: either I allow the situation to quit with my son and feel like he needs to be comforted when she knows he's okay, or we get back on the 4-wheeler and I tell him to go fast and we keep going. Yeah. He got back on the 4-wheeler and they actually took off. And then when he's like, okay, let's go back to your mom now. So I went back to their mom, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, y'all fell. He's like, yes, but he's fine. He's like, I don't want him to be quibbled. Like, I want him to understand that if something in life comes and it hits you, like, it's okay to fall down, but get back up and keep moving forward. And I was just like, bro, like, that's an amazing life lesson. Yeah. Like, that could have gone a different way. And it's like, if you fall, cry, and they're gonna comfort you. It's like, it's not. That's not the way the world works. Like, it's not just like within household. That's like just in life in general, bro. Yeah, like, that's a life lesson that you keep going from. I mean, like that, him falling, and that's because he fell like literally, like he fell like 3 or 4 times. But I will tell you this: after that second or third fall that he fell on his face, because each time he fell, right to his face, his head, his lips, whatever, he didn't bleed or nothing, but he was okay. But he got up and he didn't look for me anymore. He got up and he was like, okay, I fell. I'm okay. Let me get back up and go. Right. And he even hit himself. Like, there was some bleachers, like some metal bleachers, right? And he was walking on them. And I was like, man, like, what if he falls and stuff like that? Like, I'm always like that. Like, I'm always like, like, man, like, what if he falls? You know, like, and it's crazy because when I was little, I didn't care. I mean, I would get on things. And if I fell, I would be like, oh, man, that hurt. But let me get back up and let me do it again, you know? Right. So it's like, why should I take that away from my son, where I'm always like behind him and trying to like make sure he's okay, which of course is our job, right? But I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, he literally was on him, and I was like, okay, I don't like that, but he'll learn. He has to learn. I mean, and it's better for him to learn now. And he was walking around it, and like he like hit himself in his face, like in his cheek, and he had like a little bump, but he didn't cry. He didn't care. He kept going. And the only thing that I was thinking was like, man, like this little kid is tough. So what would you say today you feel it is what to show your feelings and emotions?
I feel like it's a little uncertain, uneasy. You never know. It depends on to who. Because there are times where you do come across people that necessarily don't like condone that. They're like, we're not talking about that. Like, or we're not talking about feelings, or like, dude, stop acting like that. You know, like, it depends on who you talk to. Yeah. Because right now, I could talk to you guys about the way that I feel or anything, and I feel like I wouldn't be as judged. But like when I go talk to someone else, or someone like an acquaintance or something like that, like they're gonna be like, dude, stop being like a girl, like. Yeah, like, grow up, be a man, you know?
Honestly, I don't care what people tell me, bro. I'm just me, exactly. And I'm gonna show my emotions. I don't care. Like, you can call me girly, bro. Like, that's the way I feel now, which I would say that for me. For me, now, I think it's important to show my emotions. Yeah. I don't care what people think about it, bro. Like, you feel a certain kind of way, okay, let's sit down and talk about it. Because when you sit down with me, we're gonna talk about it in depth, bro. We're gonna peel back the layers, you feel me? So that's why I'm saying, like, not that I don't care, is that I feel like it's good to show the emotions, because it shows not that you're vulnerable, but you hone your emotions, bro. Like, they don't control me no more. I mean, I'm not saying that I got total control of my emotions, but I'm way ahead of where I used to be because, like I mentioned earlier before the recording, bro, like I used to let my emotions get the best of me and I was reckless. I'm not like that anymore. Sure, maybe they now I guess come out or they get transmitted as stress because now I'm getting myself stressed because of my emotions. But it's better to be more handle my stress than to act recklessly. You get me? So that's what I'm saying. Like now I feel like that's why for me it's better to show my emotions and I have two daughters, so that's nothing too. Like I feel like I want them to be able to express their emotions to me essentially, you know, because I want them to feel like they can have that communication with me. I'm sorry, I didn't get what you said. You said you feel like now it's okay to show your emotions, or you always felt?
Now okay that now they're more like now they're more educated and we have more information. Now it's like now it's kind of a thing, bro. Now it's kind of a trend. It's like working on my mental health. Oh, it's okay to man. Like it's a trend now. Like it's like hey man, like it's okay to show that.
Yeah, and I think with all that though, like I guess it's kind of I don't want to get off topic, bro, but I guess that also brings the dynamic of like you know sometimes like we talk about mental health. I take mental health very serious. Like now, I guess before they really didn't know much about it, but like it's very easy or it's kind of not very easy, but it's kind of hard to dictate. You know what is mental health because there's no measure to it, bro. Like that's nothing to it. And I feel like sometimes like it's just hard to talk about it, bro. Like, cause for that reason, just you don't know how to measure it, and not everybody is in on understanding it. So there you have one part of society that's with that trend, trying to talk about that, and then the other part of society being like, "Oh, you're all soft," or "Oh, you're all weak." Yeah. It's like, bro, it's not like that, bro. It's just that we're trying to bridge the gap and figure out, you know, what's going on with humanity. You know, let's be good people and let's grow together. Let's help each other out. Let's lower the suicide rate down. Let's things like that, bro. Of course, you're not gonna live in a utopian world, right? But that's essentially what that's what I want to put out as my own being, bro. So at least if I die, bro, and you who was George? You know who I was like that kind of person type shit.
For sure, bro. Now to the next one is holding feelings inside, and we'll just go off you, George. One feeling I had trouble handling is.
One feeling I had trouble handling is I'd say out of all of the feelings I'd probably say anger. I'd probably say anger. When let's follow up with the second one because they're kind of attached together. So when I feel angry, I usually behave stressed, and I said that earlier. Also, like before, I used to handle my anger with being reckless, bro. Whether it was driving stupidly fast or punching walls or.
Bro, honestly, bro, I kid you not, I don't understand why people get angry and drive fast. Yeah. I never
it's
understood that, bro.
It's the adrenaline rush. It's the rush, bro. Like I don't know, like when I get angry, bro, there's some kind of adrenaline rush that kicks in, or like not so much now. I think much more then. But it was just an adrenaline kick that I would get. So that's what I'm saying. Like I would punch shit. Like even if it was just like a fucking, it was dumb. But I remember I once punched a tree trunk, bro. I don't know why the fuck I punched a tree trunk, but I was mad, bro. And I punched it, and I was bleeding, and I was just like, after the fact, and I cooled down, I was just like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? Why did I punch the tree? Like, what am I doing? But it's just that at that point in time, like my reaction to my emotions was to be reckless. And I think now I behave stressed if I ever get angry with that emotion. At least with angry emotion, I behave stressed. And what I mean by that is like, for example, like, you know, when you're stressed, you just feel overwhelmed. You just feel like antsy, like agitated. Like I think my anger now makes me feel that way. And now, what I guess my challenge now is learning to control or handle my stress, because then I'll be doing something and then I don't do it right and I get more mad. It's like, bro, like chill. Like you gotta, take your breather, cool off, whatever the case may be. So that's where I'm at with that, though.
How about you, Donis?
The one feeling, of course, it's anger. Of course, I feel like that's my biggest weakness is not being able to control it sometimes, or not handling it the right way. The way I feel would be the anger. Usually, the way that I behave is the same. I'll be stressed out. Like I'll act like you can tell you like it's and that's like a bad thing when you can tell that someone's angry, and like a lot of people they tend to just be like, oh, you're mad, right? And like, yeah. It's like it, and that sucks to me because it's like I'm more of a person that like I would prefer to hide something like that, to not show it, or to control it better, and if for people to tell me real quick, like be like, oh, you're angry, oh, look, Adonis is mad, like, like that is to me like it's like like I need to do better, because that sucks for someone to be able to read you like that, like quick, and you can't control it. I mean, to me it's not good, especially because I don't want my son to be able to read that as well. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he can kind of tell when I'm mad.
Okay,
So
I guess what I would say, like, do you feel like you get destructive or?
not so much destructive. It's just more like I don't want anyone around me. I don't want to do anything like, and it also plays into being like lazy. Like I get mad. Okay, like here's like one of my biggest pet peeves, and it pisses me off like quick. Doesn't mean I do anything about it, but it does piss me off. Like when I'm literally like in the middle or in the beginning of eating, like if I'm sitting down at a table, and like you tell me bad news, that just ruined my whole meal.
Damn,
and
bro, I
and
can't
it
do that,
pisses me
bro.
off. That
I'm
that
hungry,
that
I
is
don't
me.
give a
Like
fuck.
like
Yeah,
if
you lost
I'm
your
if
appetite, so-
yeah, like if I'm eating, like I want to just relax, enjoy my meal, and move on. But like and the thing is that like all my family knows that now. Like they're like, yeah, like Adonis is like not the person you want to give like a bad news to, especially when he's eating. It's like because that's when he's like that anger that I would have had if you would have just told me like when I was just chilling or whatever, like it'll be like double because like I'm angry because like I was eating and I just want to relax and not deal with anything, not to be stressed or nothing. I sound like a fat boy right now, but but like it is what it is, man. Like it's like whenever like I'm eating, I just want to just eat, relax, not have to worry about nothing.
It's not even have to do with fat, bro. My girl's like that too, and like if I've learned that if I want to talk about something with her, to wait until she's at least done with
Yeah.
food, right?
Yeah.
Because if I bring it up right before,
That's like the
when
best
she's done, if I
time.
bring it up when we're eating, bro. She's like, boom, like
Yeah,
tight.
exactly.
And then I'm like, nah, babe, like we'll talk about it later. She's like, no, I can't eat
Nah,
now.
like,
I'm like,
the
whoa.
food don't taste the same.
I'm like, it's not. That's what she said. She's like, yeah, it's not. She's like, there. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I'm messed up. So that's what I'm saying. Like now,
Yeah.
I've learned to like just if I want to speak about something, like we're talking about it right now, but you know, I'm gonna wait for her to finish eating. That way, she's well fed. You know, she's good. All right, I got something to talk about now. That's what I do now. But yeah.
Yeah, but I'm with y'all on the same thing, bro. I guess like 'cause men are just always angry. I guess like aggressive stuff, whatever.
Angry
case may be.
species.
Yeah, man. So I guess one feeling I had trouble is also anger, man. Like, when I feel anger, I usually just behave silent, bro. Not even silent, bro. Honestly, I kind of just ignore it, man. I'm always the type of person, and you guys know this. Like, I really strongly believe like that you're the only person that can ruin your day, man. So like when I'm angry, bro, like it's weird, man, because I just overthink like crazy. So like what I do and what kind of helps me better, bro, is like, and I tell y'all, and I feel like I'm weird about this, bro, but I just literally have a conversation within myself, talking to the other person or whatever the case may be, bro, and I have a whole conversation and talk it out within my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I know if I talk it out with whoever I'm angry with, I know it's not gonna go the way I want it to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm real big on like that, bro. And Adonis knows like when I argue or whatever, I want you to agree with me, bro.
Yeah.
So the thing is like in my head, I get mad. Like even in the field, like when I get mad when when you pass you the ball, you're not there. When I want you to be there because I know you should be there.
Yeah.
I mean, so in my head, I'm just like, I don't want to argue because one, it's not gonna go my way, and two, it's not gonna go the way I imagine it going. I get mad about that. So I'm just like, bro, I just have this whole conversation in my head and the way I plan it to go and the way I want you to talk back to me. So like, it just goes that way,
control
bro.
situation.
Yeah, bro. Like it's not that I'm a control freak because I'm not, bro.
Yeah.
But the thing is that honestly, bro, I tell everyone like, bro, my life as a man, I just feel like, bro, you're just supposed to make life easy, bro. Like I just want my life as easy as possible. You know what I mean? Like I don't like arguing. Like I just like my
life ain't easy, bro. I'll
like,
tell you that.
actually, it was funny, bro, because Adonis was just saying something today before. He's like, I know I like your rub, but not my whole life. I was like, bro, but hey, man, but we'll go to the next one. It's
well, so the questions we didn't finish them. We good. So with the next one was I ask it. Is it okay for a man to cry in front of people? And do men show emotions? Do men who show emotions get belittled or embarrassed? We kind of talked about it in general context. So just answer it, I guess, with a simple statement, whatever you guys may have for that. But I'll go first. I think it's okay for a man to cry in front of people. And do men get belittled or embarrassed? I think they do. They do get belittled or embarrassed at times. Like you said before, you have people that are like, oh, why are you being all sissy? Why are you being like that? Get away. So you're going to have part of society that's like that, but I still think that it's okay for a man to cry in front of people. But like you said, I guess it depends on where you're at, the context of where you cry, you know. So that's what I would say with that.
Same, bro. I feel like it's okay, bro. Honestly, like I cry a lot during movies, bro. Like especially with things I can relate, bro. I'll be crying, like kids movie, whatever the case may be, bro. So I feel like it's okay to show the emotion. We be embarrassed, but for a long time, I was always like I ain't gonna cry for anyone. Like that's embarrassing. Right. But now I'm just like, bro, like it's okay, man. Like I feel like crying, bro, is actually a sign of strength, man. Because I feel like if you're not embarrassed, bro, and you're okay to see other people cry, let you be like that. I feel like that's strong, bro. Like not every man can do that. Yeah. So I feel like you're strong if you do that, man.
But I would say that I wish I could feel that way, but I don't feel that way yet. You know. Yeah. I feel like it's still kind of like more of like
You weekend.
I rather not like I rather not like cry in front of people. You get me? Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't mean that like
not in front of anybody, bro. I say. Cry in front of the people you actually care about. You know what I mean? I feel like if you just cry like in public, I feel like you cry in public and stuff like that. I feel like that is embarrassing.
That's what I said. The context of things. It matters of what's the context, where you're at. Because you mentioned that earlier too. It's like there's certain places where you cry and you cry.
It depends. Yeah. It depends on who's there and like because I mean the biggest thing is because they won't understand.
Yeah. Okay, I guess a better way to ask it is: do you ever think men should not cry even when they're alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's where I've cried the most, like when I'm alone, and sometimes it's just like I could be not like look like I could be riding around in the car and then like I just think of something and like I have a friend that passed away about 2-3 months ago now. And like I mean he had 3 kids, so and he died saving them, like they were drowning and he saved them, So like I mean like I'll just be driving and like a song comes on, like a Lil Wayne song especially because he loved Lil Wayne, and like I'll just be thinking like man like it just hits me like back again like because I've like that shows like I've never had no one like so close to me die, like I never had anyone like that, and the messed up part about it was that his brother had just died like a month before being shot, So insane, and I knew both of them. I didn't know his little brother as much. But it's still like, I'm like, it sucks. Bro, but then for him to die, and I knew his mom because she was a substitute at our school, and like I couldn't even begin to imagine like what she would be going through, Two, exactly. So I was like, man, like she's not even fully healed, and I don't think you could ever be from the first one, right? But then the second one that had kids, So I mean, like. To me, like, like it's like, but to me, it's like something that I can't like just go and talk to someone really about. Right. Like when my brother told me we were at work, and he did cry. Like, and we were at work, and there was like people around. There was like maybe like 3 or 4 people around, and he didn't care. Like he was crying because I mean that guy was like, he really meant a lot to us, Like and his name is Leland, and. Like we miss him every day, and like to me it was like, man, like this is like I've never had like anyone so close to me die. I mean, like not to sound like mean or anything, but there could be like some people out there that are like blood related to me, and if they passed away, I mean I don't really know them like that, so I couldn't feel that much for them. You get me?
Like once you experience that like the first time, because I experienced that in high school, bro. I think it was my junior year. I think sophomore junior year. I had a close friend as well passed away suicide, and bro like and it hit me. It's like, bro, I've never really had anybody pass away like that. So once that first person like hits, we're like, damn, bro, like you start reimagining your life, bro. You're just like, bro, like like bro, like to this day I'm just like, man, dude, I wonder how my friend Javi would have been today, like with my kids, or the close relationship I would have had with him. I mean, would he be a father right now? Like it's crazy, man. Like to think like that kind of stuff, like people are never gonna be here. You know what I mean? So kind of live through them, bro. Like like everything. The way I always say is that everything you met with your friend, bro. Like embrace that. Like I always say, like, bro, like that person is gone today, but everything he's taught you, bro, like share it to your kids, share it to your friends.
That will live forever. And see, that was like my thing is that this guy was like, he was really good to me, and like we went through like things together where, like, let's just say, for instance, when we were younger, I mean, sometimes we would go, like, we would get money, like $1.25 or something like that. Oh, let's go buy something from like the slushy lady or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, it goes back to that, and it was somebody that like this one hurt. And the crazy part was like, I want to say like maybe a week before like he passed away. I want to say it was like weeks somewhere like that. His little girl was having like a birthday party, and they went to like Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Right.
And
Oh, he's only saying something like
yeah. And I had like I slid up on his story because I saw it on Snapchat, and we hadn't talked in a while. But I mean, you know, you have that friend where you don't talk to every day, but like as soon as you can talk to him, it's like, hey, you're there. Like, hey man, like you know, like. Okay, so and I told him, I was like, hey man, like send me your cash app, like I just wanna like buy y'all like another pizza or something, you know, like I sent him $20 and I was like, hey man, like never change, like like
yeah, I was saying like, hey bro, I'll go pre-barber today now.
I was like I was like, man, don't ever change. Like, I was like, I love you, bro. Like, you helped me through so much stuff in school. Like in school, like I was not bullied, but I know I wasn't bullied because of him. Because me and him were always together, and he was the one people would watch out for. Like like you don't mess with him, he'll fight you real quick. And like that was like one of the things that I felt like that was one of the reasons why people never like even like picked at me or nothing like that, because of him. Not that they would, I don't know, but I know that for sure they were like, hey, Leland has his back, we're not messing with him.
I heard Gilbert was a bully. Is that true?
Yeah, no,
I don't know. I don't know. I was the one that would beat up the bullies.
I guess like I guess we'll go bullying on a totally different topic, bro.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the next one, and we'll do the activity following the one that I showed you with carrying that up. So I'll ask the question first, and then we'll move into that activity. So the next one is gonna be, can you tough out every situation, and what has taught us to tough out our own experiences?
You can't tough out every situation, bro, but it eats you inside, bro. Like, you know, you can tough it out, but it's gonna mess you up, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and actually I feel like today right now it's like the actually perfect activity to show this or what you said, but I feel like, bro, you can't tough it out every situation because you can, but it's gonna affect you long term, man.
Exactly. So just I'll say something too. I think you can tough it out, but only for so long, right? So toughing it out would mean what we're not talking about those things. We're not showing those emotions. We're just going on with our day with that baggage. So before we move on to the activity though, what do you think? You think you can tough out a situation?
If you have a support system, you can make it out of anything, I feel like, but for most people they don't. So I feel like no. I mean, it's only a matter of time before you blow up.
Right. Yeah. So let's move on to the activity then. You wanna do it? Oh yeah, you wanna do it, Adonis? We'll talk about it. Yeah. I'll mention it, and when I mention something, one of your emotions, you want to hide it however you want to hide it, whether it be your left foot, right foot, your hand, the way I was doing it before. All right, so this is an example of what it feels like to not show your emotions, to hide your emotions, and try to go about your day with not just hiding your emotions, right? So here Adonis is holding up his emotions. Adonis, right now, you feel mad, bro, but you don't want nobody to know that you're mad, so you're gonna hide that emotion, right?
Hide on your foot.
Hide it with his foot, right? He's hiding his emotion right now. He doesn't want anybody to know that he's mad. Now, Adonis, I don't know, something happens to you, you get bad news from a family member, and now you're sad also. But you don't want to show anybody you're sad, right? But hold on, you got work, right? So, don't put that one down. You got work. So, right now, try to walk. Before you walk, try walking, right? He's mad and he's sad for things that have happened to him in his life, but he's hiding those emotions, right? He can't lift up his legs because he's hiding those emotions. He's walking trying to carry on about his day, right? Now, Adonis, you get stressed out because you've been going through your whole day dealing with trying to be mad and sad without talking to anybody about it and just trying to hold it all in and deal with it, tough it out, right? So now you're getting stressed. Now you gotta hide your stress because you don't want to be stressed because you still gotta go back to work after your break and continue working, right? Go ahead, go back to work, bro. You're back at work. Right, it gets tougher right now, but you're hiding your emotions. You're being tough. You're toughing out your situation. You still got work to do though, right? Sure. You know what? Let's say, for example, you just finished work, right? Now you gotta go home to your kids, right? But on the way to get to your home, you get stopped by a cop. Now you got something to deal with, a financial problem. But you don't want to think about it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to. It's just something you want to hide, right? So now you got a ticket to handle, financial stress, right? So now you're stressed in general because you're sad and mad. Now you got a financial thing you got to handle and moving forward. Now you still got to get home to your kids and they're waiting for you, bro. Can you get home? Go ahead. You can still go home, bro.
I don't know, man.
Hey, you good?
But you good. You can sit down now. You can sit down now. But the whole gist of it is that's essentially what we are doing to ourselves when we are hiding our emotions. You know, we still got work to do, still got kids to attend to, still got a partner to attend to, still got whatever the case may be that you do personally, bro. That's the whole idea of it. If you're carrying your emotions, you're holding onto that bag long enough, there's gonna come a point in time where you can't move, bro. You're stuck. You just get in a pit, basically. Yeah. So now let's talk about, you know, what actually, you know, how does holding feelings inside affect us? You know, like, I guess before we dive into like the actual ways that we're getting affected by long-term wise and short-term wise, I don't know if y'all want to, I guess, share your own experiences. You know, you personally.
Myself, man, I feel like it personally like mentally drains me, man, because I'm the type of person who overthink it, bro. Whenever I have feelings, I just overthink it, and overthink kills, man. Like, it really messes you up, man. So me personally, holding feelings really affects you mentally, bro, and also just like, you know, it's hard to multitask, or it's hard to just, you know, like what Adonis was just showing us, man. Like, it's hard to hold your feelings and go with everyday life, and whatever case may be. You can never do anything 100% because it's always in the back of your head, bro. Right. Like that emotion, like whether it's financial, whether it's a personal relationship, whatever the case may be, like it's always just there. Right. It's always there poking at you. Like, hey, bro, you gonna deal with this today?
Yeah. How you gonna deal with it? What about you, Donis?
I mean, 100% agree with you. Like 100%. Just one more thing that I would add to that is that it doesn't just hurt you, us. It also hurts the people around us. Yeah. Exactly. You know, I mean, they can tell when something's not right. I mean, they can't always do something about it, but they can tell, and then it might not be like the situation in your household might get tense.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, like, you know, like he's not doing so well right now. Like, I don't really think I should be around him or something like that. You know, so it affects us, but it also affects the people around us as much as it affects us.
For sure, dog. I'm with y'all both on y'all's responses. I think it definitely does affect those people around us as well. Me personally, I think the way how I am affected by holding in my emotions is I get more stressed than what I already am. I don't like to react on impulses or just my emotions, so I try to like think my situations through. And I actually had an experience not too long ago where I've never been diagnosed with anxiety disorder or anything like that, and I've never experienced anxiety before. I never knew what it actually felt to have anxiety, and for the first time, I think this was my first anxiety attack that I had, because I don't know what the heck was going on, bro. And the truth of the matter is that I wasn't doing anything crazy. I wasn't in a stress situation or a stressful setting. I was legit just playing Madden, bro, with my friends. It was me, my brother, and two other of my friends, and we were playing Madden, bro. And I remember just, you know, enjoying the time playing Madden. I probably had built up stress that was already building up to that, right?
That's that blow up.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And then I just noticed that when I was looking at the screen, like I don't know, I just got a pain up here, bro, and I started feeling my heart accelerate, and I couldn't breathe, and I thought I was tripping, so I tried to play it through, and I'm like, no, like I'm good. And I was playing, and ironically, I scored, bro. I don't know how the fuck I scored, and I was just like, I paused it, and he's like, you good, bro? Like my friend Bobby. And I sat down, I was like, nah, bro, like I can't breathe, like I feel weird, like I can't breathe. And like they were like, bro, like just try to control your breathing. Like they were all there tripping out. And then I just tried to cool myself down, and then I was like, okay, it passed over. And then I got up again, I started playing. Like not even like a minute or two later, bro, it started happening again. I was just like, damn, bro, like what the fuck? So I just sat down again, and he's like, bro, go outside and get some air. And I was like, I think I gotta do this. So I just walked outside, and sure enough, I went outside, and it took me like about 5-10 minutes, bro, to get my cool back. But that has never, ever in my life happened to me, bro. And it just happened to me probably like not more, probably like 6 months ago, bro. And I was just tripping because I'm like, bro, like what was that? Like am I not good health? Like health, like what is like? This is not just happened just because it fucking happened, you know? Like did I eat something? I was trying to figure out why I felt that, bro. And the only thing I could think about was like maybe it's just the fact that, you know, like holding in my feelings at times. Because I mean I still do sometimes, right? It's not saying that we don't at all. Like we're not perfect, right? So we still tend to hold some feelings inside because we don't want to show those feelings. And the thing that I thought about at that point in time was like, bro, like I think the way I was handling certain situations at that point in my life was that I wasn't saying what I felt or speaking on what made me uncomfortable. I was just, you know, hiding those emotions, you know, dealing with them myself. And in turn, it became stress that I had to handle myself. And within that stress, just piling up with every other stress that's going on in my life, like it just got to that point in time where I wasn't even stressed in a stressful setting that I got an anxiety attack, bro. And I was just like, what the fuck was that? So that made me think about that. So now I'm more aware about it, and I think now, even now, like I guess I evaluate or evaluate myself, bro, the way I feel sometimes, because sometimes I have internal anxiety, and I think now I'm more aware about it. So now when I feel it, I try to say a little prayer, bro. I always cover myself with God's blood, because that's what I've learned. That helps me out. May not help out others out, right? But it helps me out, bro. Like if I ever feel like a negative thought or anxiety or anything, I just sit down, bro, and start saying that prayer, bro, over and over again until like it just alleviates my I guess my emotion. People have different coping mechanisms. That's what helps me out, bro. I'm not saying you gotta do that, but that helps me out. What I'm saying is though, is I was able to pinpoint, that I'm actually going through something, and be aware about it, and try to figure out how I can respond to it and how I can cope with it. Because again, like that's handling me not showing my emotions or not speaking on my feelings, holding my feelings in, make that stress just get amplified. So that's why I think it's very, very big to talk about those feelings. Now, moving on to the actual things, not the actual things, but the more, I guess, what do you call it? Scientific, I guess, addresses or whatever. I don't even know what to call it. I'm not a fuck. I didn't study anatomy, physiology, or all of that, bro. But there's things that occur, right, when you have stresses going on with you, right? So let's read a little bit into that, bro. So it says things that occur, right? There's things such as long-term effects and short-term effects. Long-term is affected by depression, aggression, problems with memory, anxiety, example, etc. Things that come over a course of time, increased risk of diabetes as well, heart disease, and short-term things that are affected are things such as stress, physical and mental stress, and they affect your blood pressure, memory, and self-esteem, and your stomach also twists at times, and it just feels like there's knots in there. You also have chronic stress from unresolved emotions that trigger sympathetic nervous systems, which basically results in constipation, bloating, vomiting, ulcers and head and neck pain, muscles tightening up, and sleeping problems. So if you ever have any of those things, sleeping problems, ask yourself why. It's probably that you're not dealing with some stress that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that we're not aware that are affecting us, and we're kind of just nonchalant about it, bro. We don't really think about it. And when you really sit down and evaluate, your life, your situations, your things, your problems, whatever the case may be, bro, like you get to understand yourself more and your emotions more, and you're more powerful because you're able to, assess how you're gonna now move forward and handle your emotions essentially. So moving more forward, you also get headaches, migraines. There's also rage, which causes a rush of stress hormones that increase energy. But this burst of energy causes blood vessels to tighten as blood pressure increases, which can wear on artery walls over time, according to WebMD, which is basically one of the articles that we're gonna put on the video in case y'all want to read into it. But in one of those studies, though, basically the risk of heart attack was 8.5 times higher up to 2 hours after an extreme episode of anger, and 9.5 times higher 2 hours after extreme anxiety. So people prone to anger are nearly 3 times more likely to have a heart attack than those with lower anger, other data shows. So that's essentially a way you get affected by
I need to chill.
those things, bro. No, it's
Sure,
crazy,
man.
bro. Like it's good to be aware about that, bro, because we don't know until it happens to us, and that's the sad reality of it. And all the information is out there for us to know, which is why we're here, man. Like I know it's kind of not that it's hard, but it's kind of we spend more time on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, etc., and we don't spend enough time, I guess, educating ourselves. And I'm not saying that's fine. Everyone has their own, way of doing their life. But me personally, like, if I'll do the research, I'll read into things just because I like to be informed and learn about things. And, that's what we're here for, man. That way you can, hear it from us. And maybe you get interested in one of these topics. Maybe you have an idea. Maybe you already thought about this. You just need a validation. Maybe you didn't know anything about it. Now you're made aware about it. Whatever the case may be, the whole idea of this We Are Fatherhood podcast is to, again, come together, build that community, talk about these things, and bring awareness, man. Bring that impact to people's lives because somebody's got to do it, right? People are already doing this, becoming the trend, like you said, but we want to not hop on that trend, but, facilitate that growth, facilitate that, that help, that support that we need. Like you said, we don't have that support system out there, especially as men growing up, trying to fight our situation. That we're trying to build that support system right here with Our Fatherhood right now. So moving forward now, you got anything to say?
Yeah, man. No, well, go into what George's saying, man. Like like you say, like we try to not only try to educate ourselves, man, but obviously just share our personal experience and our personal ways of how doing things. But like George says, we always try to we try our best to also add resources and things like that you guys can learn from this. Going to the second topic, which is coping with strong emotions. First and foremost, always try to acknowledge your emotion. We sometimes feel sad, but we revert to anger to deal with the feeling instead of why. Confront the cause. You know what I mean? Like, bro, acknowledge emotion. What's going on right now? Why am I like this? try to figure it out, man. You know, find a way to
like
face
name
that situation, man. Yeah,
Name
like
it.
name it. Like, studies show exercise is beneficial to emotional stress. Also, practicing forgiveness and gratitude. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, bro, it's hard to forgive someone, whatever case may be. I always say pick and choose your battles, man. You know what I mean? Things like stress management strategies include eating healthy, getting on a regular exercise. I know Adonis as well say he's been feeling a lot better. He's been dieting, exercising, bro. That's giving him that coping mechanism. Like George says, every morning he tries to exercise. Me myself, I don't do that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna start, bro. Give me a little bit of time.
One of the things you can do too, though, what I've seen very, very common is positive daily affirmations. When you wake up, you can say something simple, bro, as like, "Today I'm gonna have a great day."
Oh, bro, that's me every day, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You're just saying that, bro. You're trying to manifest it. You're already speaking a daily positive affirmation.
I always say, man, like, hey, as long as I'm awake, I always tell people, bro, as long as I'm awake, you're good. It's a good day, bro. Like, I don't care what happens. I always tell people, bro. My coworker one time asked me, he's like, bro, because every time we go into team meetings and stuff, I'm always like, yo, what's going on, guys? And he asked me, he's like, good, bro, how you always positive, bro? And I'm like, bro, you hear my voice, right? I'm awake, like I'm up, like that's the only way to be positive, bro. Like I always say, and it's crazy because I have kind of like a next episode like topic, but I always tell people, bro, like we're talking today, you know?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can talk.
Yeah.
We can hear.
Not a lot of people can hear.
Yeah. You know, we're walking, bro. We take
things for granted,
bro.
That's true.
And I always tell people, like, bro, like, you know, I like, you know, even to the point where, like, you know, your kids are kind of being annoying. It's like, bro, some people wish your kids were annoying, bro. Like,
some people wish they had
kids. So wish they could make kids, bro.
Do you know what I'm talking about? So, like, things like that, I always take into effect, bro. That's why I always stay positive, bro, because I'm just like, always gotta stay positive, bro. But hey, man, we'll leave all these things down low, and all the links, bro, will always be in the description. We thank you guys so much for coming today, man. But on a positive note, guys, hey, you got this, guys. Emotions, man, is really hard to kind of like take control of. Sometimes they take control of you, but hey, man, do your best.
Always be better, man.
Always be better, guys, and I always strive for that. Sometimes it's gonna feel where people are gonna tell you, "Oh, sorry, I can't be perfect."
It's not about being perfect.
It's not about being perfect, guys. And I tell you, I get that so much. Like, oh, sorry, but we're not all perfect like you, bro. Trust me, bro. I hate that, bro. I hate when people tell me that, and I always like it's not about being perfect, bro. It's just about bettering yourself. You don't want to better yourself, bro. That's okay, but don't be angry. Don't say, "Oh, fuck this, fuck," bro. You have control of your life, homie. Like,
look in the mirror.
And ask yourself. If you got control,
do you like that person, bro? I always say, bro. I always say,
handle your emotions. Like,
I always say, look at the mirror, bro. Do you like that person? It's like, would you like it? You know what I mean? Like, I always say that, bro. I always say that. So
I feel the same way too, man. Like, it's not about like. I mean, of course, you want to be perfect, but nobody's perfect. Yeah. But the goal is to always try to be perfect, because in essence, what you're trying to do is, you're trying to be better. And if you're being better, you're not being better just for yourself. You're being better for those around you, essentially your kids. So if you do that, kids mirror that. They're gonna try to be better themselves because they see you always trying to be better. I think that's where I'll leave that off with. I don't know if you got anything to say, Adonis.
Nothing much. I mean, like, just for like the viewers, if y'all think we missed something, or if y'all want to put in y'all input into it, I mean, y'all could always like comment, let us know, like anything y'all want to think that we should go over again, or anything of that nature. I mean, we want to hear what you guys have to say as well, because we might learn something from you guys, just like you learned something from us.
Amen, bro.
All right, guys. Toby will be back next episode.
You better come, Toby.
Today. Hey, guys, make sure y'all like this video, subscribe, and trust me, guys. Soon as we have we finally got our fourth mic. We're going to have some of you guys as guests, guys, so you guys can be here with us talking about this, sharing your experience.
We're excited for that.
We're super excited for that, guys. Always get a new point of view, guys, but that's a wrap, guys. Hey, we love you. We out.